Welcome back to the Pokemon League World Championship as Red takes on Kieran in the second half of 2026. For Red, it is Arcanine, Dragonite, Blastoise, Suicune, Raikou, and Mega Charizard. For Kieran, it is Politoed, Poliwrath, Incineroar, Gliscor, Porygon Z, and Hydrapple. Leading with Suicune for Red is Politoed. For Kieran, 2 water types out already. Carmine for the Suicune, increasing its special stats there. But Perish Song from the Politoed, which means neither Pokemon will be staying in for much longer. Poliwrath in for Kieran, takes a Shadow Ball well. Perish count will drop, and now Suicune switches out of the Perish Song into the Raikou. For Red, bulk up for the Poliwrath, ready for the switch. And close combat will not be enough to take the Raikou down. Thunderbolt, the Wakan Berry, will not save the Poliwrath from that Thunderbolt from the Raikou there. It does take a bit of Life Orb damage. In comes the Gliscor for Kieran. Now it's Suicune back in for Red. Critical hit, does a big hit into that Suicune there, but it heals thanks to leftovers. Toxic Orb will activate Poison Heal for Gliscor, but it switches into the Politoed again. We are back to the starting matchup here. Carmine from the Suicune once again. This time it's Toxic from the Politoed to permanently badly poison this Suicune. In comes Porygon Z now for Kieran. Shadow Ball will do nothing to the normal type. A good switch for Kieran there. As the rain will disappear, and that means Thunder will miss the Suicune, but Hydro Pump does not take the Porygon Z down despite the boosted special attack. Porygon Z hangs on. Thunder does hit, does take Suicune down through the special defense boost. In comes the Arcanine, will drop the attack stat for Porygon Z, doesn't use it anyway. In comes the Gliscor, resists the close combat from Arcanine well. And Poison Heal, healing Gliscor a little bit there. Blastoise comes in for Red. Now we're level of 5-5 as Sword stands for the Gliscor. Ice Beam will be enough to take Gliscor down. We are no longer level and Red will take the lead. In comes the Porygon Z now for Kieran. Gets the wrong attack boost already again. And the attack is back down thanks to the Arcanine. Thunder. Decent hit into the Arcanine there, but Wild Charge will finish Porygon Z off. A tiny bit of recoil damage to the Arcanine there. Incineroar with Intimidate, lowering Arcanine's physical attack. Darkest Lariat is a good hit into the Blastoise that comes in for Red. Hydro Pump is not enough to take the Incineroar down. We heal well with the Citrus Berry. Critical hit from Darkest Lariat, barely not enough to finish Blastoise off. Hydrapple comes in and avoids a Hydro Pump from the Blastoise there. In comes the Dragonite now for Red. Giga Drain, not very effective against this Dragonite at all. In comes the Terrastalized Hydrapple now. Terra Fighting, Dual Wing Beat will not be enough to take Hydrapple down. Fickle Beam, we do not get the boost. Dragonite is not taken down and heals with Citrus Berry as well. Incineroar with the Intimidate dropping Dragonite's physical attack, that will allow us to take the Dual Wing Beat there. This Fake Out will, of course, flinch. The Dragonite won't get to move this turn. In comes the Arcanine now, will get an Intimidate on the Incineroar there. And Politoed comes in once again for Kieran. Sets up the rain against this Fire-type Arcanine. Wild Charge is a good hit into the Politoed there. And Toxic poisoning Arcanine as well now. Wild Charge does take the Politoed down. Kieran brought down to 2 Pokemon. But the rest of Red's team is fairly much weakened here. In comes the Incineroar now. It lowers Arcanine's physical attack. It is now poisoned still. Passing shot into the Charizard will lower both of its attack stats. As Hydrapple comes in, Charizard goes for the Dragon Dance, avoiding the Dragon typing for Fickle Beam. Takes a hit well. Mega Charizard comes out. And the attack drop from Incineroar has help, but Fickle Beam with the boost does take Charizard down for Hydrapple there on very low health. Blastoise comes in as switching into the Incineroar for Kieran will lower Blastoise's physical attack. Doesn't use it. Aura Sphere does take Incineroar down. Hydrapple comes in for Kieran now. We switch into Dragonite for Red. Giga Drain is not much damage dealt to that Dragonite again. As Dual Wing Beat, this should be enough to wrap this battle up. A very long battle. Kieran held on against Red for as long as he could. tried to whittle Red's team down, but just could not get the finish. Red's team battered and bruised, but still standing against Kieran. Just refused to give up. But in the end, Red was just too much. But Kieran lasted a very, very long time against Red, and that's one of the longest battles that we've had in the Pokemon League World Championship. And it is against opposite ends of the table here. Kieran hung on for as long as he possibly could, but it wasn't enough. Red, with a 4 Pokemon victory, does finally break through Kieran, does finally break Kieran down. But Kieran did very, very well to weaken Red's team as much as he possibly could, but just could not get the finish on those 4 Pokemon. And Red, saving his Pokemon well, is able to get a 4 Pokemon victory over Kieran, who fought to the very end